Hi, this is Mr. Payton. Welcome to the Science of Everything, Episode 6. I call this the Science of Everything because when I found out what my teaching assignment was going to be, it was social studies and science. And so I wanted to try to find a theme that could bring those two subject matters together. So I decided to call the classes Natural Science and Social Science, thus the title, The Science of Everything. In this episode, I want to talk a little bit more about social science. Most of us call that social studies, and some of us know it as history. This week coming up, we're going to be focused on geography, particularly maps. It's no secret that often American learners are less versed in geography than some of the students around the world. We're very centric to just what's going on in the United States. Many of our students don't even know what's going on just south of the United States when it comes to South America and even Central America. And so part of what each grade level will be doing is drawing maps that are particular to their content area. But it's part of a larger challenge that I have in front of me. My student body is made up of very bright, intelligent, driven students who are all focused on one thing, getting an A. And that's really important because obviously, the grade tells us how we're performing in class. But for me as a student and as an educator, I've never thought of it that way. So it's a challenge more to me than it is for the students, I think, in some cases, because I'm a process person. I'm somebody who believes in the way that I research, the way that I go about things, and I feel like if I just do it the right way, the grades or the result will take care of itself. And so in some ways, I'm having a tug of war with the way I instruct in terms of process versus results-based education. Again, I'm focused on the experience that the students that are having, the lessons that we go through, the dialogue, the discourse, the rigor, all of that is what I'm thinking about. Only after the assignments are turned in do I have any thought process about how it's going to be graded, because for me, I'm constantly assessing, constantly trying to refine my skill set, constantly trying to make the lessons better, more engaging so that the students can get more out of it. And so one of the things I'm going to push when we're doing the geography lessons is for the students to really focus in on the process. Why are you making a map? Who is your potential audience going to be? What should the person get out of this map that they create? Now, when we talk about what I call social science and what most of us know to be history, geography is immensely important. If we look back through history, maps have been completely redrawn. Borders have been negotiated. I mean, even in our current climate with what's going on in Ukraine, if you have some knowledge about the past, you know that the Ukraine used to be part of what was known as the Soviet Union. And so for Russia to try to reacquire or assert their dominance over that piece of land, if you understand the geography of the situation, then the conflict becomes very clear. And so I'm really going to push that as we're going through those lessons, trying to get students to understand why maps matter, why borders matter, capitals, drawing these different lines between states and provinces and countries and all those different types of things. Again, I'm focused on the learning. And for me, when I think about science, the term science, I think sometimes that's overlooked as well. Science to me, I kind of see it synonymous with strategy. I see it synonymous with technology, because that's why I came up with the title, The Science of Everything. There's a science in everything that we do. And to me, that's just identifying the fact that there's a way for things to get done. And so I'm really going to look at 3 areas when we focus on this lesson. We're going to talk about innovation, which is the idea that we take something that we know and try to improve upon it or add something to it. And focus on discovery, which is from a historical perspective, it's going to be a matter of opinion and perspective, because who found it, who was the witness, who can validate that that find was valid or reliable, and then invention. As we look at the development of different geographical situations, there had to be tools invented just for that purpose. I mean, if we think of all the way back to sailing on ships to now being able to use something like a GPS, our technology had to catch up with what our purpose was. And so hopefully as my students go through the lessons and we start to understand the purpose of geography and why we're even looking at the history of it, I hope that we are focused on the process, focused on the lessons, focused on the activities that we're doing, as opposed to just trying to finish and get a good grade. In my experience, there's a richer level and a deeper level of learning that takes place when you dig into the process and really immerse yourself into the activities, as opposed to just trying to get to the finish line and get finished. So hopefully this preview is valuable to my students and parents out there. For those of you who just tuned into the channel, I really appreciate it. There's been some great comments. I try to respond to as many of the comments as quickly as I possibly can. So I really appreciate that. And so I just hope that these videos bring value to you and that have some purpose for you. So thank you again for watching. Have a great day.